And welcome to an all-new Marvel Cast, Explosion Network's hub of all things Marvel, place to talk about everything MCU and beyond, from Avengers and Defenders to Doppelganger and Carry On. I'm Ashley Hobley, the Explosion Network's resident parasite. Joining me today, Ultimate Kieran Marchant.
This movie should have been called Lethal Defenders, right? It's way cooler.
Also joining us is the astonishing Dylan Blight.
All I ever wanted in this world is Carnage. Can I get a hell yeah?
Wow. If you haven't worked it out, on this episode we're talking about Venom, Let There Be Carnage.
Eddie here. We should be out there snacking on bad guys. I am a predator. I need to be free.
You have got to get control of your aggression. We will get hauled off into Area 51. You live in my body. You live by my rules.
I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. Please let me fix it so I can play it again. You are a loser.
Eddie Brock, I want to give you my story. People love serial killers.
Cletus, why me?
What's mine is yours. And what's yours is mine. I have tasted blood before, and that is not it. All I ever wanted in this world is carnage.
Directed by Andy Serkis, screenplay by Kelly Marcel, story by Tom Hardy and Kelly Marcel, based on Marvel Comics, starring Tom Hardy, Michelle Williams, Naomi Harris, Reid Scott, Stephen Graham, Woody Harrelson. Eddie Brock is still struggling to coexist with the shape-shifting extraterrestrial Venom, when deranged serial killer Cletus Cassidy also becomes host to an alien symbiote. Brock and Venom must put aside their differences to stop his reign of terror. So I've currently got my review up on ExplosionNetwork.com. I gave the movie a 5 out of 10. Alright. Venom Let There Be Carnage is enough like the first film that fans are sure to find enjoyment in this century, but not enough of an improvement that will change people's minds about this franchise. The film is at its best when it's focused on the symbromance. It's far better when it's a comedy than when it's an action movie. I actually enjoyed like the first maybe half of this movie. You know, I enjoyed the dumb banter between Venom and Tom Hardy and the odd couple relationship. I enjoyed like Woody Harrelson chewing scenery as the crazy, creepy serial killer. But as soon as you introduce Ravencroft and Carnage and all that stuff, it kind of goes to shit. But yeah, Kieran, looking at your face, I think you have different thoughts to me. Even did you love this movie?
You're a very nice boy, you know that? You're a very nice boy that sometimes you're too good to be reviewing things, you know? You need to be arcade couch Ashley to review shit more often sometimes, because this movie was bad. Like, this movie was... This I think the 5 is generous as fuck for a review score for this movie. I think everything about Venom and Eddie Brock's relationship is just annoying for most of this movie. I don't know why Venom's smart. Why is Venom the smart one in this couple? Because he's the one figuring out clues and being the investigator, when one of them used to be an investigative journalist and still is. I don't know.
Kieran, Venom is an alien from light years away.
But he was a
with
loser.
Light years of knowledge.
I don't know. Much of this movie relies on you kind of thinking that the first movie was good. I think like a lot of this movie, you have to not have recently watched the original Venom, so you can have some kind of deluded belief that the two had a working relationship and like there was chemistry between the two characters, because there really isn't. Eddie Brock, for general, is super dislikable. And I think he's even worse. I think he's even more dislikable in this movie for multiple reasons. I think Venom has his funny moments, but at the same time, I think it's a little bit too much. For a movie that's 97 minutes, it both felt like it dragged, as well as at the same time at points like it was trying to speed run a superhero movie and trying to like kind of hit the superhero notes as quick as possible, and then get out of there as soon. And like, you know, I give it like the symbiote storyline is one of my favorite Spider-Man storylines. Like, Carnage was scary as fuck when I was a kid, and his relationship between Carnage, Venom, and Peter Parker Spider-Man is really interesting. And this movie is completely shit. I don't. It's just overall just bad. Like, I almost feel bad for Woody Harrelson because I feel like he's trying to do something. But at the same time with him, there's so much that doesn't make sense or just is really poorly written. Like, I feel like the later half of the movie, they're trying to make you feel sorry for this character. And it's like, no, I can't, no. Like, it doesn't matter how somebody was beginning or brought up. Like, it's you're still a serial killer. You're still like a fucking terrible person. Like, ugh. It's just, it's not great.
Dylan, where do you sit on the spectrum?
I could honestly, like, if we weren't recording this podcast, I think I would have already forgot I watched this movie. Like, it's like so in the eyeballs and out the opposite side of the brain. I think it's, I honestly don't know if it's worse than the first one because it was, thankfully it's 90 minutes so that it kind of just floats along. And then the movie ends, and then there's the end credit scene, which we'll get to, which I feel like half my cinema came to watch solely the end credit scene. And then we get to the end of the movie, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm as annoyed with this one as the first one. I was just like, that was kind of what I expected. It wasn't good, but whatever. Like, I'm at such a like whatever shrug state, which I'm not sure if it makes it better or worse than the first one, because the first one I was like, man, this ending sucks ass. Like, this is so shit. But I think because this
is it better to feel nothing, or is it better to feel badly about something?
Yeah, I don't know. I would say there was parts of this one I enjoyed more than the first one, but I still think they're both bad movies. Like, I honestly don't know.
I think we can agree they're not good.
No, neither's good. I think there was a little bit more life to this one. At least I feel like they were trying to do something, even if I don't really like the direction they like. I would agree, like, suddenly in this one, Eddie Brock's like suddenly a bumbling buffoon compared to like this big time journalist who like tracks down stuff and should be like smart. In this one, they're like, no, he's pretty much like a bit of a drop kick. He's not that smart or whatever. And I'm like, that's dumb, but like, at least I guess they commit to it and turn it into like a big crux of the film. And now,
what makes you say he's a buffoon?
Because everything he does is just like, you just get shit talked to him. He gets shit talked down. He can't spot anything. Like, it seems like it pretty much the whole movie makes out like he'd be nowhere in a dumpster, like drinking his life away if it wasn't for Venom. Like, I just feel like especially compared to the first film, this movie's like Eddie Brock's dumb. Is the takeaway I got from this film.
The whole like scene of Venom drawing for Eddie Brock and then chucking it out just makes Eddie seem fucking stupid for most of it. Like,
the fact he has to go over the drawing and over and over and over like several times.
Actually,
to be like, don't you see it?
You've just reminded me, symbiotes using computers and technology in this movie pissed me off.
I mean, that was that I think that might have been the turning point in the movie when Carnage hacks the computer. Yeah, I'm like, no, that's unacceptable.
I feel like you could have this shitty script, and the movie would actually be better if it was like MA or something. Because the biggest letdown and the reason the movie doesn't really come together for me is that I feel like it knows it's dumb and it knows it's not taking itself like super serious or whatever. But then the fact that Carnage, they're trying to make him scary, but he's nowhere near as violent in this as he even is in the comic books. There's no blood. There's
that prison scene should have been a bloodbath.
Should have been an absolute, fucking parts going everywhere.
No personality to the character of Carnage.
No.
Like, it's just bland.
He's psychotic. Okay. He's psychotic, I guess. Good job, everyone.
Yeah.
Like, I think I like heavily sighed and rolled my eyes when he like yelled, "Let there be carnage" at one point. I was like,
"Let there be Carnage.
This is just...
Yeah, the movie was dumb, but I think I honestly would rank it above the first one because it is shorter. Woody Harrelson does choose scene, and it's both bad but at least entertaining. And if I had to pick between watching Venom 1 or 2, I would say I'd rather watch the second one than the first one. They're both bad, and I would suggest not watching either. But if I had to pick the ranking, I would put 2 above 1. And I'll never watch this movie again in my life.
Until we do another
Nope.
piece of
not gonna
content.
happen.
Nope.
Not gonna happen.
I'm good.
No way.
I'm good.
Revisit it when Venom 3 comes out.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm good.
Nope.
Pretty
Nope.
good.
No?
Pretty
Pretty good.
No.
Pretty good without doing that. There was a little kid in my cinema, like maybe like 5, 6, full Venom like costume on and everything. I'm like, really? Like, what kid show is he watching that Venom is his? I want to dress up and go watch Venom. Is there a Venom cartoon?
No, he probably just likes Venom.
How?
He's got
Where's
shitty
Venom?
parents.
Where's Venom? Like is
The
he in
actual
any of the
first
cartoons?
movie.
Just the first movie.
that's-
Just because he's... Look, I can understand a kid that doesn't actually understand what's going on could find that first movie funny. Venom has a funny voice.
My cinema
He ate
was
that person's head.
my cinema was pretty packed, right? First screening Thursday night, pretty packed. Maybe like 7/10 packed or whatever.
Listen, you got to remember, Venom made
A lot of money.
Venom makes money,
Ma-
and it's annoying that it's made money.
It made $856 million. I think it is
yeah.
current. It's pretty high up the list of grossing films so far this year
Yeah.
already.
And my cinema, like everyone was laughing, and believe it or not, after the end credit scene, a bunch of people cheered and clapped. And I don't know if they're cheering and clapping for the end credits or for the movie in itself getting to that moment, but I was like, I cannot believe I'm sitting in a Venom movie and people are cheering and clapping at the end of it. Like, anyway, it's a movie, and yeah, it's not very good.
Okay. Might as well continue our building the Venomverse.
Oh,
So of course we talked about Carnage last week, but we actually saw Carnage this episode, this film. Like Ciaran said, Carnage doesn't really have much of a personality. I feel like if you were to add anything to this movie, it would be trying to build some sort of relationship between Cassidy and Carnage. Or some explanation as to what Carnage is.
In the car, they literally have a scene where he goes,
Sorry.
I need your help, you need my help. Cool, we're friends now. Bye. Then we find
Carnage
this random
is
car off
just
the
like-
side of a
is
bridge.
a part of Venom, but how did he come to be? Like,
Well, it's because he obviously bit some of his blood, but, you know.
I just love how he wakes up and already his brain's like, oh, that guy who's inside that other guy, father, got this shit. Easy.
Yeah, this symbiote is suddenly super smart all of a sudden.
and
Yeah.
is like, what? Oh, we need to find somebody? That's right. Got the hacking skills to match. Let's break into some databases and systems, yo. Let me use my USB attachment, like the arrow attachment from Hawkeye's, archery set, as Carnage. Boom.
Yeah, I can't get over that. And
Boom.
I really did not like the tornado move he pulled off as well. I'm like,
Yeah,
this
that's
is
fucking
dumb.
Yeah. That was dumb. I don't know who thought that up.
And then the other thing, obviously, is I don't know how he loses this fight at the end. Just to be perfectly honest.
He falls.
Because all right. No. Actually, you know what? This is the only part that genuinely made me laugh and be like, that's hilarious. Was like, they were like, Venom's like, oh, I need fire. And then he's like, no, we need sound. And then he looks at the girl and I'm like, oh, they're just going to team up with the girl. Because I'm like, that's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
so that's what I thought
I was
too.
like,
but
team
then,
up with the
yeah.
girl. And then he just fucking smashes her into the fucking clock tower.
Yeah.
And makes
Which
her,
makes
like-
more sense for Venom to do
And I'm
that
like,
than-
But that's the thing, right? It's. I feel like the anti-hero-ness of Venom is like really not played up at all. Where Venom's just like, I want to save people, I want to eat people. At the same time, is just like, there's too much like, I don't know, Venom interacting with people or being nice to people or, even when we talk about the after credits scene, it's like, why does this make sense for this character? It doesn't. This character's like all over the shop. What is his purpose? Why does he want to do this shit? You know, it's just fucking weird.
Yep. But no, how does Carnage lose in a one-on-one fight when he can morph his body so he doesn't get hit?
Because
it's like
in a mousetrap-esque style finisher, the lady gets smashed into the bell, ringing the bell, and then as she's falling, she screeches into the bell, causing supersonic waves to ring through the bell, amassing. Then Venom and Carnage both get hit by that. They start falling, and then all of a sudden the symbiotes are separated from their hosts, and guess what? It's alright. Eddie Brock's got his homeboys. Fucking Anna's there. Anna's boyfriend, Dr. Dave's there, or whatever his name is. Dr. Dan's there.
That's it.
And
Dan.
Venom,
Dr. Dan. You're
Venom,
right, Dan.
He
Bye, Dan.
Always liked you, Dan.
He Mexican waves through them both and back to Eddie. And then he eats Carnage.
Mm-hmm. It was part of him, so I mean, it's just like he ate himself back.
There's
it's like when he
lots
was carrying blood.
There are lots of animals that eat the young.
Actually, no, sorry. And prior to that, Venom was clearly stuck under some slightly large debris and was like, nah, man, I can't do it. And then, of course, Eddie Brock was like, yes, we can, because we can do it together. There's no symbiosis with them. They're not bros. Because remember, audience members, we're bros. And we're going to do it with the power of symbiote.
There are symbros.
There's no I in symbiote, but there's no I in symbros, but there is a I in symbiote, which is what you are, and you're inside of me, and me is part of the word team.
It's a hell of a stretch.
That's almost
talk about
the actual writing, not gonna lie.
Let's talk about the woman who gets hit into the bell. Naomi Harris, fresh from No Time to Die, stars as Frances Barrison Shriek. Wow, she's not good. She's put in this movie to be a hindrance in the finale.
Oh, she is just literally a weapon for the later fights. But like her motivation is that she's pissed off with the cop that shot at her and ruined her eye after she attacked him and he shot her defending himself.
Not the people who locked her up,
I mean,
or the doctors, or whoever put her in the first place. Or
well, she already killed all them.
Yeah, no, well,
she got to hit everybody.
But he was like number one. He was like, they wanted him.
Thought,
it's like,
yeah, you would have thought prior to the doctor died, she would have been like, "That's my number one." And then maybe if all the doctors died, she'd be like, "I guess that police officer."
Oh, without,
I don't know. I don't know. I'm a big fan of my eyes. I think I'd like to keep them. So if somebody took one of those,
if you started
pretty
the
high on
fight,
the list.
like I guess if she got hit out of like if he had shot
she's
her
a crazy person. I don't think her her reasoning is very good.
That's really shitty writing though. Her reasoning's not good. She's crazy.
I don't know. Yeah. he didn't need to shoot. You know.
What do you mean? He was gonna. You know what? If she had kept screeching at him, his brain was gonna leak out of one of his ears.
He could have just sat down and took it.
2 seconds into this movie, when they revealed her power, I was like, "Oh, yep." Like
this makes sense.
This makes sense. Yeah,
Star-crossed lovers. That's what it is.
Also,
like,
have you guys
A
ever
person
tried...
who doesn't want sound and a person who produces nothing but sound.
Yep.
Have you guys ever
Taylor
tried
sold his time.
to get something through a pipe? It's hard as fuck. How did he get that ring through that pipe? Like that's just hard. That's that's almost impressive that he was able.
I think he had a lot of free time, right? There were like 60, 70 different like little string rings stuck in that pipe.
Oh, he's just been pushing them through one by one. You know what? All right, you've sorted that problem. Good job filling that pothole.
Nothing but time,
Yep. Yeah, so she's not great. We've also got Stephen Graham as Patrick Mulligan, the detective, and Dylan's old mate.
Yeah, I love a bit of Stephen Graham.
It's fine.
No,
Took me a while to realise he was the guy. Like it
What
took
do you
me
mean,
like
the guy?
a little
I was
while.
like, who's the guy?
Like he was the guy
guy.
from the opening scene with
You didn't realize
Shriek.
straight away as soon as they
Nope.
they literally show you such a close up of his badge.
Oh
and
no
you
no no!
read
I
it,
got that bit,
and then
I
2
was like,
minutes
I'll
later,
pay
you hear the
attention.
scene with
Also,
yeah.
you just can't hear.
Yeah. It's like if you didn't
No,
remember
it was
his
the
name,
hearing aid that like clicked it, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, fair enough, I guess. I also hate the
I-
continuity between the first movie and this movie, where it's like, oh yeah, we can't really be doing stuff together, Venom, because we're on the lowdown because of the FBI and they're looking into us because everywhere we were there was somebody missing a head. It's like, what? There's no
What's
way
that
that
like?
Venom's a secret at all. Like, there's got to be just something.
video footage or something.
Video footage of the amount of times, like, there was that whole sequence of you driving down the busy streets on a motorbike and, like, this black junk, like, using you to go around corners and stuff like that. Like, nobody videoed that. Like, come on, guys. Come on.
Yeah, I don't mind Graham in this. I think he's okay. But I guess we'll see him again. in
He's
the
got a
next
little
movie.
bit too much of a hard on for Eddie Brock in this movie.
Yeah, I mean
Like,
that's just
it's not all Eddie's fault,
he's typical.
This is what's the word for it? When you blame someone before you have any proof.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, look forward to him being the villain in Venom 3, I guess.
Well,
Can
in
somebody-
the comics, Patrick Mulligan becomes Toxin, who is an offspring of Carnage, but
Oh.
is a good guy.
But wait, how does that really make sense? Because he didn't die because of Carnage. He died because of Shriek.
Well, you see,
I don't know.
And somehow he got blue eyes because of it.
somehow when a mummy and a daddy
Part
down a-
of my brain was like, what did Carnage do while they were waiting? But at the same time, don't really want to go into that, Don't
No,
really
this,
wanna think about that. That's inappropriate.
Let me read straight from the Wikipedia article. Carnage produced an offspring, a third symbiote. Carnage felt only dislike and hatred towards this new spawn, even before giving birth to it, before fearing that it could become much stronger and being generally disgusted at the thought of giving birth. At the same time, Venom became where Carnage was pregnant and sought out Carnage to talk to this new symbiote. Carnage was resolved to kill this spawn as soon as it was born. Venom was doing his best to protect the new symbiote with the intention of raising it to become a new partner. Wow. Comics, everybody. Yeah, and that's all the new characters. It's kind of, kind of bland. Ciaran, what's the most marvelous moment of?
No, stop it.
What is the most
Please.
marvelous moment of
Stop.
Venom? Let there be carnage.
I'm going to tell you a story about the end of this movie for you. Because it frustrated me at one point. That 1 minute they're sat on a fucking park bench talking about life, and then it like flip reverses and they're on a beach, and I'm like, what the
Jack, we gotta go back.
But I will tell you, right? Because I'm guessing we're going to go into it. That I would have left the movie and left the cinema as the credits began, if not for two things. One, the house lights didn't turn on in the cinema, so I was like, oh.
Why would
Probably
you
gonna be
leave
so.
early in a Marvel movie?
Because
What's
I
wrong
was
with you?
that annoyed with this movie. I was that done. My brain was like, I really don't care for any post-credit scenes of this movie, even if it's Spider-Man related. I don't care. I don't. And then, I'll say my most marvelous moment was that the end credits song kind of slapped. And I was like, alright, this was kind of...
I mean, it was no Venom by Eminem.
It's Venom, 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 Venom.
So the end credit song is your most marvelous.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Dylan, what's your most marvelous moment?
Venom giving that random speech in that club.
No, that was the thing, right? So that club was...
Little these aliens should be free and
So
legal.
to break
Everyone's
into-
like,
To break
Fuck
down
yeah!
that scene, were they trying to make Venom an LGBTQ plus representative? Because I feel
No,
like that,
I think it was meant to be like an alien rave, right?
Yeah, it's like he's like he
Was
says,
it an alien rave?
No, it's just a costume party. But I think when he said alien, everyone assumes like refugees or like whatever.
No, because
that's how I took it.
because the thing that I took, there was a lot of like same-sex couples and like stuff like that going on in the club. So I was like, is this supposed to be a?
No, it was just I think it was just a dress up party. People were in random costumes or whatever.
Okay, well,
but I mean, Venom
sure.
is gay, so
is he actually?
Yeah, for Eddie Brock.
Yeah, it's like. I don't think so because he really loves Anne, Francis, whatever her name is. I can't remember her name. Why did I say Francis? It's Anne.
Imagine if they changed the plot of this movie. He's like, "Fuck Anne, we don't need her. You've got me." Imagine Venom and Eddie Brock making out like that. Little Venom head pops out and the two of them just make out. Someone's done this fanfic, I can guarantee.
Yeah, there was a big
Well, guys, if Venom
was a big
and Eddie
ship.
Brock can,
Was there?
if
Yeah.
Venom and Eddie Brock can have a
See?
fight in their
Yeah.
apartment, clearly
They can
through
have
the
a
same
fuck in
kind of
that
things,
apartment
they
too.
can have sex.
Fuck me, Eddie.
Call me your little girl, Eddie.
Write about me in your newspaper, Eddie. Call me by your name, Eddie.
Who am I? We are Venom.
Wow.
This is my, can I make this section my new marvelous moment? The realization.
This segment that you just came up with is the most marvelous part of the movie.
It's the most marvelous moment. The adult
Of the
parody
all new
Venom.
Marvelcast podcast.
My most marvelous moment is, Venom. Oh no, Eddie. He's just found out Anne's got engaged, going to get married, and Venom tries to cheer him up by making him breakfast. Quite an amusing scene.
I mean, I've watched it 20 times in trailers, but yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say shown a lot. Like the 3 or 4.
I
empty
did not
funny
watch
moments.
any trailers.
Oh really?
I don't
'Cause
think really. No.
The bit about no, that's a red one as Venom disappears and you can kill everybody. That was done to death. That was very much done to death.
Wow.
Yeah, I've seen the trailer like
How have
every
you
time I've
avoided
been
the
to
trailer
cinema.
for somebody who?
Do they
has
not
gone to
play?
the
I don't know.
movies?
Do they not play trailers when you go to movies?
Yeah,
They
do you
do. I guess
recall-
I'm going to have to go back and watch the trailers because I don't remember seeing.
because like every movie. So what we've done, James Bond recently, Eternals. Like both of them, I've seen this beforehand. Like,
And now imagine every other movie I've gone to, they have played this at literally, I'm not even joking, this trailer has played at every cinema screening I've been to in the last 2 months. Everyone.
I mean, I
single
also
one.
just stick my headphones in. If it's a trailer I'm not interested in, then I generally don't pay attention.
wait, what? Really?
Yeah.
That's an option?
Yeah,
that seems
yeah.
weird. I don't know.
It's pretty great, What do we think of Michelle Williams in this movie? It's kind of, she came in, got a paycheck, had one funny scene
She's
where
fine.
she takes Venom in again.
They toned down the body type on female form Venom. Did you notice
She
after
Venom,
what I
yeah.
said with the first one? Yeah, see? Fucking dumb last time. Anyway, yeah, she's fine.
At least she
She's a
didn't
good
make
actress.
out with him to pass the Venom this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
She
also-
tries.
That'd have been kind of weird if they had in front of Dr. Dan.
Poor Dr. Dan.
You know what? I thought Dr. Dan was pretty good in this movie, not gonna lie. I was like, you know
He was
what,
pretty
Dr.
great,
Dan, I see you.
He burns. I mean, he gets in there and burns Carnage. So
He does some stuff,
he does some stuff. Yeah.
We all feel
He's-
happy for Dr. Dan.
He's pouring gasoline and fire and like lighting it on Carnage, but then takes him a second to realize he's
No.
not using the power of sound.
Yep. Saves the cat. Make sure the cat's nice and safe when they're trying to escape town. Also love the interaction with Mrs. Chen at the shop, especially when Anne comes in later.
Actress, because she looks
Yeah.
so young,
Yeah.
so much younger in this movie. I don't know why.
It's that Marvel de-aging tech, or the money that she got from the first movie.
Also, can we just say how little care has for the number of people Venom murdered in this movie? Like good, normal people by his little, like, tour of overtaking bodies while he was away from.
I don't think he killed
From
anybody.
Eddie?
He just like kind of drained them a little bit.
I think one of them he said they're dead.
Dead tired. Can you also shout out the great Sonny and Cher chickens?
Yeah, you know,
Pretty good.
classics. They got a
You
victory.
know, you couldn't eat them
No,
because they're
Nope.
best friends, just like Eddie and Venom.
well, we've already established Eddie and Venom are a lot more than best friends, Sash.
Yeah, they're symbiotes. Anything else you want to talk about from this movie?
Are we gonna go through the end credits scene?
Oh yeah. So they're in Mexico, hanging out, chilling, on the run. You know, because no one's going to go look in another country for them. That's for sure. Then
Well, they built a wall around America. There's a wall there now, so they can't.
Yeah, in the Venomverse there is. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You know, then they go to their hotel room. The events of your fan fiction happen. They hang out watching TV afterwards.
They are, as you do. As you do. You're a bit exhausted. You need to lie down for a bit.
Venom is going to show Eddie a portion of his mind's knowledge, and then he gets transported to the MCU.
Can I say
Spider-Man!
the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, especially the one I watched just before this, keep like showing more and more of that movie in annoying amounts of detail. That I'm just like, guys, stop. I liked it
There's
when
only 2 trailers.
I
only
feel
two
like
trailers.
this one.
Trailer?
I feel like compared to the first one that came out, this one spills the beans.
Nah. It's just
What?
fuck
It
off.
just showed you the villains. That's it.
No,
Well,
it spilled
I mean,
way
we-
more of the beans.
We discussed it, and I still reckon the majority of that trailer is from the start of the movie. Apart from like a couple.
Except
key
for the
things.
Statue of Liberty fight. Or the captain statue of the
Wait for Venom to show up in that movie, so.
maybe.
I mean, I'm presuming so.
Can I say Venom's like desire to eat Peter Parker is very strange and not explained.
Wait, was it? It was Tom Holland with his hood off, right?
It was Tom Holland in the Spider-Man suit.
Did you see Tom Holland's face though? I can't remember.
Yes, you did.
So it's before the spell happened, I guess.
No, because it's talking about no, because it is the J. Jonah Jameson clip isn't the one. Is I think feels like it sounded like it was like a follow-up report post the original one that we see at the end of.
Yeah, it's the
Far
J.
From
Jonah scene is different to the one that plays right at the end. So it seems like it's a next day or that night, sort of. I don't know, like, but yeah, it's not exactly the same time. So
No, but what I'm saying is Venom isn't transported by the spell then.
No, I think
no. Venom's I would say Venom's transported by something else. Oh, I mean, they could rewrite.
No,
it,
I think
sure.
Venom's transported by the spell because a big thing that they do.
But then why would they be showing Peter Parker's face? If the spell worked and nobody knows who Peter
No,
Parker
but the
is.
spell doesn't work. If you watch the trailer that's just before this movie, he botches the spell and it's bringing back beings that other Spider-Mans have killed.
No, I think the spell worked. We're assuming, well, we said on the trailer,
Nah,
talk,
I don't think
which
the
you can
spell
find here at
works.
All New Podcast, that the spell works on everybody except the people he mentions in the thing.
I don't think the spell works.
Well,
If the spell doesn't work, then yeah, it makes sense that he's showing up right afterwards or whatever. But if the spell does work, then it doesn't make sense that they're showing him. So we'll find out soon, though.
Yeah.
Like
Alright.
that's the tell-all difference. I does ask seeing this end credits. It's like it's cool, but it does now just open up a lot of weird like. I'm glad they've officially like, look, this is a separate universe, but also we're not afraid now to play around and do the multiverse stuff where we can take characters in and out, which is kind of cool because then they can potentially take people out of the main MCU for a while, then take them back in and switch them around or whatever, which is good. I'm just intrigued to see what happens in the fuck's the vampire one? Mobius.
Mobius. Yeah.
Because Mobius seems to be set in core MCU because it has Falcon in it.
Do you mean Vulture?
Means
Vulture?
Vulture, sorry. Which means
Is it though? Does maybe the Vulture get kicked out? Or is this Vulture from another universe?
No, I'm gonna say it's the exact same one.
Also, there's a drawing of Spider-Man, but I kind of thought it was the Raimi Spider-Man in the trailer. It did.
Yeah, well, unless Mobius is set during the events of.
Are we sure that Michael Keaton isn't playing Batman in that film?
No, I'm pretty sure.
Don't
But we'll find out.
Maybe,
But it's just it opens up.
Playing Birdman.
Yeah, I hope so.
Fingers crossed he's playing the founder of McDonald's.
He's
The
founding
non-founder
things.
of McDonald's.
He's founding a vampire.
Alright, anything else from Venom?
It's a bad.
Was there enough
movie.
carnage?
They didn't really let.
Can
there
I
be
just say
carnage.
the end fight is bad?
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's one of the worst superhero movie fights, I think.
Yeah, but I could say this is one of the worst superhero movies. Like, just in general, like this is. I'd much rather sit through the almost 3 hours of Eternals than watch this.
Well,
I'd rather watch this because at least then it's over faster.
I still feel like
you might understand Eternals more again.
Yeah, exactly.
You would
I don't
get a
know.
better understanding, you know? Why did King go? You know, alright. Let us know what you thought of Venom, Let There Be Carnage. I know there's people who like this film, or will like this film, so at your boy Ringo, or go to explosion.com/Twitter to let us know there, or jump to Discord at explosion.com/Discord. If you want to help us out here at All New Marvcast, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or on Podchaser, or tell people about the show. And if you like this episode, thought it was worth it all, head on over to our Ko-fi page at explosion.com/support. We are just a few weeks away from finding out what happens in Spider-Man No Way Home. So watch that. Come back next time for another all-new Marvelcast.